Good morning, everyone. Good morning, BraveHearts. How you doing? This is Dr. Wolf. I'm in Puerto Rico. As you can see behind me is Lori. Lori, you want to say hello?
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so why did I do that? Well, I did that because I want to tell you something. If you ever took a look at what I'm going to be dedicating my life to, it's going to be dedicating my life to all my family. And understand something. Everybody on this planet is family. I've talked about this, and people can call me weird or crazy or, what's he really up to? But the reality is we need to create leaders, not followers. I don't want any followers. Okay, we need leaders in this planet. And that's what we're going to be creating. Right now we're here, okay? And we are at a co-op bank, okay? They're the safest banks. Just know this, that all the big banks are going to go down first before the small co-op banks. The first thing you want to do is get your money out of the bigger banks and get it into like a co-op credit union, things of that nature. They don't risk your money, and they aren't such greedy, vile people. And let me tell you that right now. Banks are just, they use us and they abuse us. They're our money. They use it. They want to make it hard for you to get. Now, when I say something, I have to put it out there, and not everything comes true, but I'm just showing you that we're doing our paperwork here. We got two corporations, and the first corporation allows us to only pay 4% taxes legally. See, I can get on here and say this, and the government can't do anything. Revenue Canada can't do anything. The IRS can't do anything. No tax agency can do anything against me. Do you understand? What we do is we search out what the psychos are doing, okay? The so-called, they think they're elite, but that's only because they've strategized and they're kicking our ass every day. They're stealing our money. They're stealing our children. They're stealing our nourishment on an emotional and physical level. So yes, they are elite that way, because we won't come together and strategize, oh, I hate Dr. Wolf. I just hate how he speaks. I hate him. The reality is we've been taught to hate things, and we've been programmed to destroy our own lives, to not have health, not have wealth. Well, we've got two corporations here, and just know this. Dr. Wolf pays no tax. Dr. Wolf is going to be, you'll see this in the next 6 months. I will have a nonprofit, and that nonprofit will be giving people that graduate high school a chance to come in and take my courses and go all the way through and get their doctorate. And that's what we're going to be doing. We'll be setting up that nonprofit. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm also working on an app called Touch, and that app will have everything in it. The government cannot come near it. Nobody can shut it down. I'll have Docstar TV in there. I'll have people like Jim Gale. I'll have Ty Bollinger. I'll have Mike Adams. I'll have some of the most controversial people in health that are fighting for your freedom on my show, and it can never be shut down. And this platform, I will bring anybody on this platform, anybody that has something that they can offer the world, and they'll come on 15 minutes every week, and they'll share their information. Okay, let me tell you something. This is not about me. This is about us. It has to be about us. And you know what? When I really started talking like this, guess what? My own country came after me. Okay, they spent about over $200,000 to $250,000 trying to do a show on me that I steal people's money and murder them, or whatever the case may be. The reality is I'm only into natural health, and the reality is I don't care if people like me, love me, hate me. I know that in my heart of hearts, the only way that the world will change is if I have unconditional love for myself and for others. That doesn't mean that I'm going to hang around with people that have very negative ways of living. That's not what I said. The reality is they want you to understand that money's evil. It's not. Money is energy, and it creates things. They want you to understand that you've got a chokehold and you can't break free from it. That's a lie. I will be setting up a complete program where you'll come in, you can watch the videos on how simple this will be. You would fly to Puerto Rico, okay, all right? It will be around $5,000 a corporation. Just know that This, if you had to pay for it through some other group, you'll be looking at anywhere from $25,000 to $35,000. Just know that. We're not going to make any money off of anybody that does this. As much as I can create and give information away from free, and anything that I find out that will enhance my life, I want to do it for everyone else. I'm not doing it for you to like me, not doing it for anything. We have to do this because if we don't grow, okay, consciously, and if we don't feed our spirit and bring up our vibration, that's the whole name of the game. You know, you come down here and you feel like you're being beaten, okay, on all levels. All you got to do is learn how to love and care for yourself and just never give up on you, okay? Love you. Don't care what the world thinks about you. Just love you. Anyways, let me go through this. I'm a little off track because I've been really burning the midnight candle. Please go take a look. I redid my whole fasting guide, and you can get it for free in my library. Please go take a look at it because our advanced water fasting is beyond any water fasting. It is the least expensive thing to ever do, to actually turn on autophagy and eat up tumors, cysts, pimples, scar tissue, and things that shouldn't be in your body, like trapped protein particles. How about unleashing more stem cells than $100,000 stem cell therapy when you're on an advanced water fast? And we can prove the science is all there. Let me go back to this here. So, okay, you fly to Puerto Rico. Oh, I love this part. So we're living in the United States now, basically, and we are moving to United States. Now, the reality is that I'll be talking to Americans going, yeah, you can actually go to Puerto Rico and we can help you get set up, and you'll pay like $5,000 for a corporation, never pay more than 4% tax again. And they'll go, well, I don't have a passport to get to Puerto Rico. You see, people are not stupid. We have been made to feel like we're stupid. A lot of Americans don't even know that Puerto Rico is in the United States and you can just get there with your driver's license. Isn't that something? Now, the reality is this. You'll come over here, you'll do the paperwork, and you can also be adopted by the indigenous tribes over here, which will supersede any type of government agency if you're a health practitioner, and they have no right to come near you. So the reality is we're setting up protection. We want people to be abundant in everything. You know, here's the biggest thing, if I can say this. The reality is this. I have been teaching courses since I was 28 years old. The one thing that I learned by the time I was 40 is that natural health practitioners, okay, all right, are probably one of the worst business people in the world because they just want to prove to the world that they're worthy, that they can heal themselves and heal others. And the reality is there are so many great people out there. You know, believe it or not, anybody can become a doctor. Okay, so you need to get that. Okay, that whole cloak and dagger thing, that's just like some kind of religious science. You know, anybody can become a doctor, anybody can become a practitioner, anybody can heal themselves, but you need to love and care for yourself and then have proper strategies. And that's all we want to do. I'm creating an app. It's cost us almost $250,000. And that app will be basically free for people to come in, and then they can purchase master classes on how to advance themselves. And then if they want to, they can get certified in Wolf non-surgical bodywork, which is the most powerful bodywork. I don't mind anybody challenging me and to actually having me try to prove that, because I will prove it, that you will not, in 99 out of 100 times, you will not end up going to surgery if you do the things we ask you to do, even if you're booked. The reality is this, the whole world has made into an illusion where we're stupid, we're dumb, we can't heal ourselves, there's something wrong with the body. But that's not true. So what I want to do is I want to create this system that makes it really easy for people to hold on to their wealth and very easy to hold on to their health. Now, you're only going to do and put in as much work into that, okay, as you love yourself. So the main thing that people have been programmed for on this planet is to talk down on yourself, think that you're unworthy, or that you don't have what it takes to be a genius or to be brilliant. You truly are. So I just want everybody to know that I'll be on today at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be doing a live Q&A if you want to come on with your questions. And I will also give a phone number so people can text the phone when I come on if they want to text in their questions so I can take a look at it. It's a lot easier because I'm going to then trying to get the questions off of like Facebook or YouTube or things like that. And I'm just going to be doing a health wealth Q&A. If you have questions, you can come on and ask. But understand something. Don't give up on yourself. And know this, that you haven't even begun to live yet. You need to find your purpose. You need to find your passion. And that's what we're trying to do right now. Like, we had a large, very large healing clinic in Mexico, and we opened it up in a 3-star hotel. Now, that was a bit of a mistake. Before we went down there, we were promised to have a lecture hall. We were promised to have the clinic. If you come, you don't have to pay us anything because we know you're going to draw a lot of people in, which we did. When we came there the first 6 months, we had it at probably 80% full because of us. It was a 220-room place. When we got there, they hadn't done anything. They hadn't painted. There was no internet. They didn't even have our clinic ready. There was no place to lecture. But you know what? We put a smile on our face. And in life, what you got to do is you've got to go and ask yourself, is this as good as it gets? Because if that's the truth, then I better get better. So, we stayed there for a year and a half. But the people that own this place, they haven't been to their own hotel for about 16 years. I think it was 16 years. So, and they were just bleeding the hotel. The manager was bleeding the hotel. We tried to make it into a paradise. I want to thank them for teaching me a lesson, I need to really protect what we have. The next time we open up a clinic, it'll be smaller. It'll be more protected. I mean, we had drug addicts coming. We had alcoholics coming. When we first decided to go down there, that was like probably about 4 years ago. And a lot of promises were made on handshake. I like a handshake thing. I'm not going to give that up. I have a handshake with Dr. Ben, and Dr. Ben in Puerto Rico has never went against his word because a contract's not worth the paper it's on. So anyways, I love Mexico. I would reset up in Mexico, but we're right now looking at Puerto Rico, and where we set up, I'm not really sure yet, but I've got my corporation, and no matter where you live in the world, these corporations, I don't pay tax ever again. I do have to give 4% to my nonprofit. Anyways, let me get back to Mexico. So with Mexico, when COVID hit, okay, it was just like everybody was running from the United States and everybody was running from Canada. There was a lot of good people that came down, but there was a lot of people that were on disability, mental disability, physical disability. We had so many people come in that had drug addictions, alcohol addictions, and then trying to deal with the manager. His name was Lionel, a very corrupt man, very corrupt. I'm not going to get into the stories. And then the owners of the hotel, very corrupt, okay? And wheeling, dealing. And then the people that came down trying to feed off of us. Understand something. Know your place. Know your place. Know your place. And understand something. Protect your vibration. I didn't do that. I should have been more specific about where I set up. My ideal thing would be to set up on some beautiful yoga, meditation, retreat that isn't working out and take that over somewhere near the beach or on the beach, somewhere more isolated, but you could get from the airport to us in about 35 or 40 minutes. That would be the ideal thing that I'm looking for. So I'm just speaking from the heart. Is it a good place to escape from Canada's tyranny? Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you, wherever I go, I want it to be as free as possible, but you have to understand something. Puerto Rico bought into the whole COVID mandate and mask mandate. And even if they do that, I would have to ignore it. Now, Mexico did too. But in Mexico, you can call that a third world country, but we loved it. We love Mexico. The people, all in all, are generally really good. The reality is there's greedy people all over the place. And when we went down there, everybody looked at us and tried to feed on us like they were parasites. I'm serious. I felt like one large nipple, okay? And then people would get their ideas that they're going to live off of us, drain us. I mean, trust me, Mexico's beautiful, but you need to know that you've got to have really high quality vibrational people. like Stop a Palace, you know, that place is going to go down, because the reality is these owners that own it, they got it from their grandfather, and he had a big heart and he built it, and they gave me some pitch that they wanted to fulfill their grandfather's legacy and have us come down because he was a naturopathic, he was the head of the naturopathic in Mexico or something. I bought the story anyways. It all sounded very good. But the reality is I'll tell you, if I wasn't a whole life coach and wasn't doing whole life coaching since I was 28 years old, I think I would have cracked up down there between all the games that everybody was playing and the using. So that can happen anywhere in life. I'm just going to make sure that here's the deal. You can become the best person that you want. Remember, Jesus Christ was nailed to the cross. And understand something, that people will always try to nail you to the cross. Ignore them. You know, there was a show done on Marketplace about me. It's still going around. The government is still hiring private journalists to do shows to say that I have a cult. Do you see my cult? I don't even have a place where people can come. That I've never had a cult. So they want to try to bring us down. See, I'm not telling you this because I want you to like me or not like me. I'm not telling you this because you need to come to my clinic or not. I'm enough for me. I love this guy. You know, if the whole world doesn't buy into me and doesn't like me, it doesn't matter. The reality is I will always come from my heart, and people can think that I'm not. But understand something. Watch out on who you're trying to not like. You know, just focus on loving and liking yourself. You don't have to like me, but if you could focus on learning how to truly love yourself, protect yourself, first from yourself, and then start bringing your vibration up on the things you eat and drink and think and the people you hang around with and the things you do. That is so important. You know what? No matter how today goes, no matter how many things go wrong today, I love my life. I love it. And understand something. They're going to come at us with this climate change. And I'm going to be releasing a new video called Bird's the Word. And they're going to come out with some kind of lung infection. Maybe it'll be Sears or something else. And they're going to come out with climate change. They're going to come at us on all angles. Don't you go crazy. I want you to meditate, contemplate, pray, whatever you do today. And I want you to fantasize about the type of life that you deserve. And then I want you to find your brave heart and make a loving decision that you deserve better. And let me tell you something. If you want to be abundant with your health and your wealth, dive into my library. And I'm telling you, within 6 months, okay, at the latest, I'll have a whole program where you can fly to Puerto Rico. Instead of paying $30,000, you can pay $5,000. And the reality is, it's a little unorganized right now, but I'm going to make sure that this is totally organized, and I'm going to allow every brother and sister around the world to come here, because you could live in Pakistan, you could live in Germany, you could live anywhere you want to live, and guess what? Puerto Rico is the only legitimate, and it's not offshore, legitimate, okay, corporation that you can buy, and no tax agency in the world can touch you. I hope you're letting this sink in. $5,000. $10,000 will buy you 2 corporations, and now you have a nonprofit that you could give 4% to whatever you love. Whatever you love, they can't tell you what to do with it. Now you give them nothing because they deserve nothing, because they take everything and they waste it. And you wait until you see all the taxes go up, because they're going to tell you because of COVID. Oh yeah, they're just beginning to have fun. And I'm going to tell you something. You can like me, don't like me. Hate me, don't hate me. I'm going to love you anyway, because I know this. I am connected with the creator of all things, the universe, creator. And I know this. It's not about love. It's about unconditional love. It's about one love, one law. And you got to start with yourself. You got to focus on yourself. You got to observe yourself. You got to stop judging. Just observe. Okay, I don't like that. I like that. So leave that alone and never think about it again, and just focus on what you want. If I didn't focus on what I want, people go, how do you do what you do? How do you get through this? How can you handle all of these attacks and still have a wonderful day? Because I mind my own business, because I don't care what people think. The government doesn't scare me because I've never broken the law. Okay, this Marketplace show where they say that I'm just the worst thing that could ever been created on this planet, it doesn't matter. People are going to say what they want to say about you. Stand up for yourself. Stand inside yourself, because it's an understanding and love and care for yourself. So it doesn't matter how many times people say things about you, whether it's your relatives or they don't care for you, or your co-workers. You know what? Do no harm. Love yourself, care for yourself, and say, how can I make my life better today? Because the better that you make your life, the better you're going to show your family how to do it. Most people believe that they have to suffer. Most people believe they have to totally struggle. Most people believe that it's all in the suffering, it's all in the struggling. That's how we get to heaven. That's how we get our love from our family and our friends, and appreciation. Oh my God, I have a headache. I worked so hard today for my family to pay the mortgage. Am I like mentally challenged or something? Find your passion, find your purpose. Put a smile on your face, no matter if a bomb just goes off, because that's your only protection. And stay connected to your breath, and let everybody lose themselves. Let everybody get anxiety and then get depression, which there is no depression. There's just the brain wanting to shut down because you just blew yourself up with anxiety. And then guess what? Go on depression meds that only have one side effect, which is suicide. Well, because on a subconscious level, you've been programmed to kill yourself. Like the population's not doing it. I truly believe, and I want to be wrong. And guess what? Oh, somebody says, you're still talking, yet you say nothing. Okay. You see, I'm saying a lot of things, and I guess I'm just talking here. Some people may appreciate it, but understand, if I'm upsetting you, what's the person's name here? I can't see it. 1 second. So Mojo, maybe you should just go find a new platform. And see, lovingly, you should go find a new platform. So if I'm not saying anything, you should get off right now and go find somewhere that you can get somebody that can say something that you can understand. It's like this. Let people banter at you. Hurt people hurt people. And there's a lot of hurt people out there. Have compassion for them, but not pity. And then mind your own business and create the world that you deserve. No matter where the world goes and what happens to it, you keep your dreams, you take your kitty litter, and you turn it back into your sandbox, and you be selfish enough to have a beautiful day every day, connecting to your breath, connecting to your smile, and knowing that which created the universe has never judged you. This whole sinner thing, you can take that and put it where the light doesn't shine. And this failure thing, guess what? I didn't fail in Mexico. And I left Mexico because it taught me a lot. It helped me get my game up. It helped me dig deep down inside myself. I want to thank Mexico for everything. I want to thank the owners of Ixtapa Palace for not giving me anything, for changing all the rules, for setting me up. Because guess what? I proved that I'm more than I could ever believe. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to move forward with a full heart and know this, that I need to feed my spirit if I want to stay physically healed on this body and in this body. And that's what you need to do. And the only way you can feed your spirit is with unconditional love from yourself, for yourself. Love yourself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else, so help you God. And if you don't do that, just remember, I gave you a kind little warning, because you're going to need to do it. Because you think that we went through something already, they're going to come at us one more time really hard. Because believe it or not, it won't be the V that takes people down. It will be the anxiety that creates every autoimmune disease. And there are no autoimmune diseases, because guess what? You had to attack yourself first on an emotional level before anything physically happened. And remember, heart disease is the main killer. And heart disease, I can prove it in my videos, that heart disease is just a recording of your love relationship with yourself. Your heart is broken, your heart is empty, your heart is in pieces, my heart hurts. And understand, the emotional becomes the physical, the the psychological becomes the biological, and second to that is cancer, and cancer is hate and anger. So guess what? You better watch out, you better not pout, and you better put on a smile all day long, a slight smile, connect to your breath, and focus on what you want, and never let your dreams go. You may not believe this, but everything you ever wanted is there for you. And you know what? Don't beg for it. Get off your knees, demand it, stay connected to your breath, and know that you deserve it. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you again. God bless. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Have a beautiful day.